Yes, I stay in New Jersey, Prabhuji, and I usually come on weekends and contribute in the Harrison preaching program with Arjun Prabhu. So yeah, yeah, thank you. Thank you for the class and coming.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. My name is Krishna Rai. I'm born and raised New Yorker. Currently working at Con Edison as an engineering supervisor, and I regularly come to the Brooklyn Temple.
Okay, you make everyone chant the names of Krishna. Wow.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you for coming and giving class.
Thank you. Yeah, Nitish, bro. Okay, Gaurav. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
My name is Gaurav. I usually come on the weekends, and I also kind of come on the Harrison program where we meet on Saturday, like we met yesterday. So yeah, I'll be in temple hopefully today in the evening. So if we can catch up in person, that's also great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji
Dandavat pranam.
Anand Gaur Haridas. I stay in NYC Temple and I'm doing my master's in cybersecurity.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your association.
Hare Krishna,
Hare,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I'm Kajal Katige. I work at ASML as a software developer, and I've been to the Brooklyn Temple a few times. Thank you. It's
Thank
nice
you.
having you today.
Thank you. So this is the most famous field, AI and all, right? Most of the devotees in this field. Okay, I guess we'll just begin. So thank you, Prabhus, and very happy to be here and seeing the enthusiasm of all the devotees in the morning program today. I really felt so much at home and so much joy actually in the heart because this is what is needed. This is what makes our temples complete. I mean, our temples have the deities, they have the books, they have the Harinam, they have the buildings and the structure, the facilities, and the most importantly, what they need is enthusiastic devotees. And once this is begun, yeah, this will only serve as magnet to attract more and more and more. Yeah. So life outside the temple or association of devotees can be quite challenging at times. And I salute those devotees who actually are able to make it in devotional service, while not being in temple. It's really great. And being in temple is so great because it's a bliss, it's a nectar all the time. Yeah. Life is so joyful, so colorful. And your prasadam time is also very colorful. I think this may be the longest dining table you're having here amongst all the US temples. I mean, like in the regular days, and most of it gets filled, right? So, thank you, and I really appreciate Arjuna and Pro's consistent service. Now it's like what, 5-6 years? 5 years. 5 years. He's completed Pandava deadline. Jai Panchatattva ki Jai. And Prabhu has not only completed these 5 years, he has done tremendous service. One is here, winning the trust of the local devotees and gelling in with the culture, okay, and keep safeguarding his own practice, and fourth, producing results, producing very good results, stably. I think there have been some most devotees who have gone elsewhere now, but yeah, but they were here. I remember some of them, like seeing them. And most importantly, he has given that confidence and faith to many other devotees that yes, it can work. Because of him now, Sri Gopal Pranpur is here, and in Boston we have devotees. And now I'm just praying, and I'm going to India to lobby this, like, please come to California. So really thankful to him. And Radheshyam always talks about him in India whenever he talks about US. Always, like, for him, US goes along with Arjuna and Prabhu. Rebol. So, and thanks to all of you because you have made it happen. So, the contribution of your devotional service is not just your own, but actually it counts, because in the early days, whatever happens, later on you get to tell all the stories. Yeah, a lot of mercy for those in the early days who become devotees, and what to say of those who are like joining full time, or done with pranams to you all. Thank you. So, Prabhu told me something which can help gain more determination in spiritual life. So I thought of 3 topics, or I'm open to anything you may say. So the 3 topics are: one is like there is this question, what does Krishna give to me when I join him in Krishna consciousness? Okay, what all gifts will Krishna give to me? So from the pages of scriptures we see various personalities, and what did they get, okay, by adding Krishna in their life. It's a very simple topic, anybody can relate to, even a new person. ABC to GBC, I always say that. Yeah. Second topic is the story of Bharat Maharaj, only a specific part of it. Like there are 8 chapters in the 5th canto which talk about the story of Bharat Maharaj. You know that person who became the deer? Yeah. So a particular chapter from his story, where that turning point is there, how he gets attached to the deer and what all happens. So we'll read the exact verses. This is one option. Another option is, there is this book, because I'm coming from Boston, so I'm remembering His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj. This is his book, one of his many books. So in this book, which is titled as Prabhupada Appreciation, he talks about there are some 17 chapters or so. So we can discuss few chapters wherein what he does is, in the beginning of each chapter, he first plants a doubt about Prabhupada, in the minds of the readers. He raises some questions. Why did Prabhupada do this? Why would Prabhupada say that? And then he begins answering them, those doubts. That's brilliant, actually. So he kind of is helping us to appreciate and develop more faith in Srila Prabhupada. So sometimes we don't know, okay, I never had that doubt. Yeah, but it's good to have and then get it answered like that. So all 3 are very good discussions. we can discuss some other topics, like for example, learning to see good in others and other devotees. We can discuss some other topics like inner transformation. What is the science of transforming our heart from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So let me just remind you once again, briefly this time. The first topic I said, we can discuss about all the gifts which Krishna gives. Okay, my life with, when I add Krishna to him. So we see various aspects of it through the examples of various personalities in the Shastra. Okay, and second is, I told you about Bharat Maharaj story from the Bhagavatam, where his turning point comes. And third is we have Prabhupada appreciation, gaining faith in Srila Prabhupada, getting our doubts answered. In Prabhupada. Okay, one more topic it comes to mind immediately. So that is called, we usually call it faith and doubt. It is done at various levels. So you all discuss, you all share for like 5 minutes each. What gives you faith in Krishna consciousness? What gives you faith in Bhakti Yoga? What gives you faith in Hare Krishna Mahamantra? What gives you faith in ISKCON, the institution? What gives you faith in Srila Prabhupada? Okay. What gives you faith in ISKCON's devotees? So you may share like 1 or 2 couple of things, and you can also share what questions you have, in general, maybe about ISKCON, which sometimes happens to challenge your faith or someone else's faith. Okay, or what questions you may have about Prabhupada, or what questions you may have about the process of Bhakti Yoga. or any of these aspects. Okay. Yes. So, anyone, any vote for the word? Which topic? Yeah. Prabhupada book. Okay. Yeah. Go for your own choices. Okay. We'll go for a democracy vote.
My children. My children.
Your children?
My children. Back in 1999, my first child was abducted to Russia, and I learned about Krishna consciousness. And
Okay, we are sorry about that. Shall we do one thing? We'll just take their opinions and then in the end we can discuss.
are you talking about what makes you come to Krishna consciousness?
Oh no, I was just talking first
My
about.
apologies.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
About Maharaj's book about Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
He raises the question and then
Okay, fine. Any other? Huh? No, nothing like that. You just
Yeah, I go with like hearing about the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada.
like same.
Yeah.
Wow, it seems to be out of 6 topics, same. Yeah.
faith with results. He sees something, you do the practice, you feel something, see something, experience something.
Right. Faith and doubt. Okay. Yeah. Good. Of course, this is also part of faith and doubt only. Okay, good. Okay, gifts we get from Krishna. Fine. Gifts. Okay. Okay, now we are getting into some competition here. Faith and doubt. Okay. No. Don't go by score. You go by your choice. Don't do that. Don't go by score. You want to make it tougher? Faith and doubt. Okay. Okay. I think we.
Laukik is saying Prabhupada appreciation.
Okay.
Gaurav Prabhupada appreciation.
Prabhupada appreciation is part of faith and doubt only. So I think we can.
Even with no gifts.
Yeah. Huh? Prabhupada appreciation. Okay. Great. We can do that some other time. I guess it's a very good topic. We can discuss it in half an hour also, and or whatever time we get, even 5. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We can do it some other time also. So let us do this faith and doubt thing. We'll combine this in the faith and doubts. So you guys also get to share in this topic. Okay. So let's offer prayers, and after the prayers, I'll share something from the Bhagavad Gita regarding faith and doubt for like 5 minutes, and then for few minutes, like you can speak, which whoever, like it's like voluntary basis here. So you can share what gives you faith, anything like for a couple of minutes, whatever gives you faith. Especially we would prefer like if you can speak about Prabhupada and ISKCON, because this book talks about, it revolves around them. And then we'll also discuss some questions, okay, beginning with some questions which Maharaj himself raises. Okay. So let's offer prayers. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Radati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a clear mention about doubt. Krishna compares a doubt with a demon, and he says that these doubts, why are they compared to demons? Because they can destroy our faith. So faith and doubts, these are like two different things. One cannot exist without one cannot exist while the other exists. Just like the light. So as soon as you switch on the light, there is light, and then darkness is gone. So either the darkness or the light. You cannot have both. Similarly, faith or doubt. So doubts are like such demons. If we can handle them, if we can have them killed, then our faith is established very strong. So when you think of demons in relationship with Krishna, which place comes to mind? Yeah, which place? Vrindavan. Hari bol. Vrindavan, so many demons came, right? And what did Krishna do with them? Kill them all. And who kills those demons? Like the gopas or the gopis or the cows? Who kills those demons? Krishna or Balaram. So Balaram is the Adi Guru and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So the doubts can be killed only by Guru or Krishna. Guru kills our doubts by knowledge, by transcendental knowledge. We sing every day in the Guru Puja, right? What is that line where it says like the Guru gives us Divya Gyan? Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. Chakshudhan dilo jai janme janme prabhu sei Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. The Guru enlightens our heart with Divya Gyan. And then what happens? What is the next line? Prema bhakti jahan hoite avidya vinasha jate. See, avidya or doubts can only be killed by prema bhakti. They cannot be killed simply by information, simply by knowing verses. No, it doesn't work like that. The knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, when inspires prema bhakti, loving devotional service to Krishna, that loving devotional service actually kills the avidya, or the misgivings of the heart, the vices of the heart. Okay. Bhagavatam also corroborates it. Chaitanya Charitamrita also does. So you find that this transcendental knowledge, when we receive this knowledge from Guru, from Krishna, from the devotees, so actually this leads us to bhakti, deeper and deeper bhakti. And when that bhakti grows, bhakti is as good as Krishna. Bhakti is not different from Krishna himself. And then those demons are gone. Our heart is like Vrindavan. And so many demons of doubts can enter that heart, or maybe residing in that heart. Or they just keep coming, from external sources, sent by Kamsa, sent by Maya. But if we enhance Krishna consciousness, or bhakti towards Krishna in our heart, One part of doing that is to read from scriptures, to hear from scriptures. Then those demons are killed, those demons are gone. And what happens when the demons are gone? Any Vrindavan Leela, what happens when the demons are gone? All the Vrindavan Vasis, they go, Jai, Jai Krishna, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Right? So we become joyful, we become happy. And that's something we want, right? We become blissful. So let's do that, So how do we increase our faith? When we practice Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees. And when we hear from them, when we see them, just like you see Hansa Rupa Prabhu here and many other devotees, as he was sharing today, since 50 years, he was right, saying unbelievable. Like he was talking about Vrindavan temple opening. Remember? Said 50 years, it's going to, 50 years are going to get completed. Yeah, it's amazing. His only Jayapataka Maharaj, he was from America. He has completed already 50 years of sannyas. 50 years of sannyas. This is mind blowing. This is like how many people even get to do that even among sannyasis, because 50 years having taken sannyas and having maintained it, not just maintained it, but actually, he has delivered like literally hundreds and thousands of people. So this gives us faith when we look at these devotees. They're all our teachers. They're all our Shiksha Gurus. Because by their example, they're showing us, yes, you can do it. If we can do it, and they were in the prime of their youths. I read somewhere that the oldest guy whom Prabhupada preached to was 27 years old. And the youngest was 12. So on an average, like we don't know average exactly, but let's take 1920, And Prabhupada preached to those people who are like on their senses and minds were on fire, right? That is the age like it's raging, And yet Prabhupada, how did he transform all these people? When I was just bowing down to Srila Prabhupada today, when Prabhu got me to the temple hall, I was just thinking, this is New York. This is the area where Prabhupada would roam, and he was just meeting these youngsters, and he was an old guy. How did he do it? Today you just name any place, and someone was telling about Harrison, right? Not Harrison, but no, not Harrison. Some place here. Harrisburg, not Harrison, Harrisburg. So I said, okay, where is that? It seems to be some remote place. He said, no, there is temple. Oh God, I'm hearing the name of the place first time, and there is a temple. So Prabhupada has given us so much, right? So when you see such devotees, there are devotees practicing in Antarctica. You know that? Yeah. There is a book distributor, in those places where like you just see ice everywhere. The Prabhupada books have reached Antarctica. It gives so much faith. You come to India, there is overloading faith, overflooding faith, like all around. You just see like so many devotees and devotees doing what not actually. Nowadays, in India, we are rejecting properties. People come and say, please, you can have this temple. It's a ready-made temple. You can have this land and make the temple. No, wait. We're putting them in queues. We're rejecting them. No, you want a promise from us like in next 1 year we'll do it? No, sir. We already have different plans and there's so many devotees doing. So hold on. Put it in car park. This gives faith, right? So, and when you see devotees like, relishing the scriptures so much, nowadays Prabhupada's followers are writing so many books, preaching, in so many places actually. In India, we don't have any premier school left where devotees are not preaching. No premier school is left. Like amazing, isn't it? I'm talking about the entire country, and India is like big country. So now, some of you would like to share maybe, what gives you faith. Okay, maybe one or two things, and let's focus on them. For like we're just having it for them. You can relish it. I'm saying you can relish it, hearing from them, and you can also say some questions you may have, or you have seen someone else have. Okay, Prabhu, like sometimes devotees they're not able to understand why this thing happens, or why why things have been like that in ISKCON, or why Prabhupada said that, or why Prabhupada did that. Okay, are we good? Okay, okay. So let's begin. Who would like to begin?
Hot potato. Results. You practice, you see things, you see them get cleared away. I mean, what can give you more faith than that?
Great, great. Yes, our own experience.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all. Nothing. You want to add anything?
One point, and then I'll come back.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. He's very generous. Yeah.
So I've seen people changing after reading Srila Prabhupada books after joining ISKCON. They were my friends also, like, it's a huge transformation
Yeah.
after reading Srila Prabhupada books and associating with devotees.
Yeah.
And I've seen like many youths, even from my country, Nepal.
Yeah.
Many youths from like age group like 18 to 24.
Patri
like,
Prabhu.
yeah, Patri Prabhu.
Yeah, because of him.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen like youths like me, like in this age of Kali, I mean, where there are like lot of so-called opulences to
Yeah.
enjoy, like for sense gratification. They quit everything and joined like full time in ISKCON.
Yeah.
Like that, like make me like, wow, how this happened. And you your youths are being brahmachari. I mean, they're quitting everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just wondering, like, there must be something they must have get some higher taste so that like they quit all these things.
So
And
you also have these plans?
I'm not sure about this. But
Okay. Okay.
but yeah, that transformation, like makes us like keep working on this like thing, like, and never quit ISKCON, because since they are doing, why not we?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Very good. Very true.
Yeah.
Actually, this faith is very good, which actually comes by seeing the results, as both of you shared, because this is so tangible. Nobody has to give us a license, I mean, a certificate, or assurance or something. We can see it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Krishna Prabhu. So I think for me, I definitely feel joyful, and I can see the change in me since I have come to Krishna consciousness. So for me, the personal results that I got, that gives me faith in the
Okay.
movement.
Welcome to Phil Club.
Yes. Haribo. Yeah. Hey, they are all saintly people. No questions. Wow. Okay.
I guess no. So what gives me faith is by seeing, as you're adding in the line, that seeing those devotees. So seeing that how Maharaj went through different all the paths, and then finally he chosen to this and decided that this is
Radhanath Maharaj.
Radhanath Maharaj.
Okay.
This is the thing I wanted, and the Srila Prabhupada is the one.
Journey home.
Journey home. And by seeing this devotees, that this process is the process will take me to the back to Godhead.
So you are already home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
And
got home without the journey.
and other is like Radhesham Prabhu. So seeing those devotees develop firm faith, this process is 7%.
Why do you develop faith in Radhesham Prabhu? Like what
His
gives
purity.
How do you know his purity?
By seeing him. And like I can say
by seeing how he's practicing and serving.
Practicing, and the way he transformed the life of the people. Wherever he goes, he charms the heart of everyone. Now everyone wants him, but
Yes.
Yeah.
He also wants everyone. He wants you also. Thank you. Got it. Yeah, very true actually. Same thing for all of us, bro. And we see the impact, just like we were discussing about proper disciples. Since 5 decades, 6 decades, they have been practicing. Right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So I was also remembering Radhanath Maharaj, like all the processes he went, and all the disciples of Prabhupada, like Hansuba Prabhu, and in temple we have Ram Roy Prabhu also, who is even at this age, he is so much like dedicated for Harinam, going out on streets.
Same thing since decades.
Yeah, same thing. It is like we are seeing it like in person, and it's so inspiring and encouraging.
Yeah.
And also, like when we go out for book distribution or Harinam, we see that what is the condition of people in New York City. And then when we remember Prabhupada, that Prabhupada preached to them, and in his time it was even worse, because there are like lots of youth on the ground, like on the say like on the streets, and they were like not following anything,
Taking
and
drugs.
yeah,
Yeah.
taking drugs, and just by chanting they transform themselves. So it is like appreciation of Prabhupada increases more and more.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel fortunate that I'm here in New York City with Association of Devotee. I can like relate, like not relate, but I can see that what Prabhupada has done in such a like degraded city.
True.
So that's
See Prabhupada's magic. Not only he gave something valuable to others, he's making us also give. I mean, who are we? And here we are speaking. I was thinking, that who am I to speak in Ivy League colleges like Stanford and UC Berkeley, like there in Bay Area. I think I never even thought in my life that I would be here. Of course, I was like not into much into academics, okay. But anyways, I never thought like, and I'm going there also to speak something. The other day we had a program in Stanford, okay, and I was just presenting basic teachings of Srila Prabhupada. And people were crying. There are two people who were crying, crying just to know about transmigration of the soul. And one lady, she was like into tears, such tears, that she was sharing what all things happened in her family and then how to see them all. And she got so much hope. We got standing ovation in that program in Stanford, like 50, 60 people, okay. Some of them professors. And I was thinking, who are we? We don't have any, like from an academic point of view or worldly point of view, nothing to show, like, but because we are connected Prabhupada and Krishna, See, people have tough time having a property in these kind of cities, right? This is Manhattan. This is very close to Manhattan.
Yes, in New York City.
So in this place, to have a just to live somewhere also must be very costly, right? Prabhu must be paying some good fortune for it. So I mean, who are we to have all this? Sometimes people say, "Hey, you left everything." No, we gained a lot. My father would tell to my mother, like my mother would say, hey, look at our son. He doesn't have anything, like no place of his own. So my father would tell her, Are you mind your own business. You bother about your own life. Because this guy, wherever he goes, he has like big homes. Isn't it? The other day, one custom guy was asking me, he was asking like, how will you spend 3 weeks in US just with $1,000? I said, this also I'll carry back only mostly. He was totally bewildered. He said, what do you mean? I said, yeah. He said, so that means you are getting payment. I said, I'm not getting any payment. This is a special payment. So this is us, Prabhu. Just like you marry someone and then you get another father-in-law, another mother-in-law, another set of all, like, right? You have one because you married that person. So that person has, therefore you also get some relationships. When you marry Krishna, when you become a devotee of Krishna, you get so much love, so many people whom you can trust. Like I handed over my bag to someone. I don't know the person, but I know he's a devotee. Can I hand over my bag with my passport and everything? I'll be stuck here. Today, people have tough time putting faith or trusting their own family members, like their relatives or, But here you can trust people because they are, they are practicing Krishna consciousness. We are living with the chosen golden people in the age of Kali Yuga. Isn't it a great gift? And that gives so much faith. Thank you. Arshab. Yes, I would like to. I hope at least one devotee asks some question also. Otherwise, I'll be unemployed in this class.
So maybe I can start with the question, or
you first share your faith.
Yeah. So actually, as you also mentioned, when we see how nicely devotees are practicing, and it's not that those who are like in the streets, like they are people from good backgrounds, they are practicing this Krishna consciousness and following Prabhupada's program.
Yeah.
So then when we see that, actually that gives a lot of faith, and and the kind of transformation they have done through their lectures and by their programs throughout the world. Actually, it's not like a local movement, it's like now
Yeah.
all over the world. So
So it works for everyone.
It's work for everyone.
It works at all places.
Yeah.
It has worked at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good.
So that gives.
So that means it's a science basically.
Yeah.
Anything which works in the same pattern, like you put the formula, just like there is a seed. You may have an apple seed, someone else may have a banana seed, someone else may have a brinjal seed, like eggplant seed, okay, or I may have a rice seed. So we all plant those seeds in different places in the world, and we just get that seed water, soil, and the sunlight, and the plant comes up, right? You get the crop. That means it's a science. Similarly, when you see Krishna consciousness, the power of chanting and hearing and worshipping Krishna, serving Krishna, when you see it working everywhere, as Prabhu was saying, that we're seeing the results for ourselves. Our own material desires, our own material fever comes down from selfishness to selflessness. So you get it, yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Question. Actually, as you also mentioned about His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj,
yeah.
And so when we see actually devotees are going through so much difficulty with bodily situation, or even actually recently, actually I heard about Giriraj Maharaj also.
Yeah.
So his health condition also and other things also. So that actually shook me little bit. I spoke with some of the devotees, but actually that that kind of make me. So how we see in this situation, this is also Krishna's mercy.
Yeah.
Because when we say that Krishna actually does everything to glorify the devotees,
right?
But some situation, I'm not able to see how Krishna is glorifying through
right.
these.
Very good question, bro. Really appreciate. Very good question. Very honest. See, in 2010, I was there in Mumbai, Juhu temple, and there was this one ceremony, initiation ceremony, by His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. So you must have heard of Radha Govind Maharaj. Yeah. So I remember that. So the initiation ceremony was the next day morning. It was on a Sunday morning. So it was Saturday evening, late evening, maybe around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., like that. And Maharaj was in his room, and some of the devotees who were supposed to get initiated next day, some of them who had some questions, they were meeting Maharaj. And I was just a volunteer, so I was also there around, I was just listening. So there's one devotee, he was a young devotee, maybe around your age only. So he asked this question to Maharaj, that Maharaj, your body, so his Maharaj's half body has been paralyzed with some sort of something in his body, like I don't know the name of it. So his half body is paralyzed, actually doesn't work. That time it was like very recent thing. Okay, so this boy who actually had developed a lot of affection and spiritual attachment to Maharaj, so he felt for Maharaj's health situation, and he was like, he burst into tears while asking the question, and he said, why is Krishna doing this with you? You have been serving him since your childhood, you have been glorifying him. Why is Krishna doing this with you? And I remember Maharaj very gravely just heard the question, kept looking at him. Then Maharaj remembered this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. He says that the Pandavas were going through one difficulty after another, one setback after another. It is said it was definitely not their karma, because they never did such karma. Like their life was quite an open book. So what was it? It was Krishna's mercy. It was Krishna's personal intervention in their lives. And then he said one thing which I'll never forget, Prabhu, in my life. He said in Hindi, so I'll first repeat it in Hindi. Okay. He said, आप हमारे शिष्य बनना चाहते हो ना, तो आपको हमें श्रद्धा होगी. हम आपको कैसे बताएं कि कृष्ण ने हमारे साथ बड़ा स्नेह किया है. He said, you want to be my disciple, right? So that means you must be having some faith in me. How should I even express to you how much special favor Krishna has done? What kind of special favor? Actually, the word he uses is affection, to be exact. Like sneha means affection. What kind of special affection Krishna has bestowed upon me by offering me this? As artificial as it may sound, Prabhu, I can honestly tell you it was not. It was very genuine, very, very genuine. And I can tell you it's like, see, one time it was in the year 2012, Janmashtami. So that year I was sent to assist one senior devotee and some other, like all the other devotees in one place called Kanpur. So I was quite young back then. I just spent like less than a year in Brahmacharya ashram, and I was supposed to perform, like make some good Krishna conscious youth community and all. So I was really like very enthusiastic, and I was trying my best. Things were very strugglesome. We worked hard. We put up a big youth festival, and 1452 youths. 1500 registrations happened around 1500. That was very big for us back then. Today, India, 8,000, 10,000 is like quite a regular thing, But that time in that state of Uttar Pradesh, it was like everyone was like, "Oh, really?" And we had put in a lot of money, a lot of efforts. Like the whole place was ready, big pandal and all. What do you call here pandal? Tent. Okay, big tent and all. Everything was well set, like stage and sounds and big screens. Like it was all a makeshift arrangement in a ground. Required a lot of effort, a lot of planning, and everybody was anticipating a great program. And we had sent like buses. We had hired the buses and sent them to different universities, and from where all this registered who had paid for the program actually, and they were coming. The youths were supposed to come. 2.5 hours into the not 2.5 hours before the program, and suddenly this wind started blowing, heavy winds, and suddenly this cloud started pouring, so heavy. And we were like, I was like, why Krishna? We're doing it for you only. I mean, we just surrendered and we just came to this place like few months back, this godforsaken place, and what is this? This. I mean, this is the time you're not supposed to do this. This is exactly the time you're not supposed to do this. And in last 6 months, no such drama. And suddenly at this moment, this kind of drama. I mean, I was questioning my own faith, Oh, you're listening or not? You are there or not? And I was like aghast. I just sat down like there only where I was standing. What is happening? And I was getting all these calls, Prabhu, like what to do here? I said, what to do? He's only doing now, whatever. And that in front of me, I saw like the pandal, the tent got demolished, The winds and the rains were so powerful. And I just sat down like looking at the disaster. And no philosophy, which I probably spoke in many classes. No philosophy kept. I was not able to speak anything. And then I remembered, this is the time we surrender. We just cry out to Krishna. We would take shelter of Krishna only. Like in Vrindavan also, that Indras, all those things came. I just started praying, and started chanting. We all started chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And we were really praying from our heart, Krishna, please, please, because the devotees here, the other devotees, they were really looking forward to it. We wanted to give them joy, and we wanted to spread Krishna consciousness. This is the first time such thing was happening in this entire state. What are you doing? And I remember after a couple of hours, just like, the scheduled program was like, half an hour, like after half an hour, you were supposed to start it. And that time, this rain subsided. And suddenly, the entire sky cleared up. It was around 3:30 p.m. and bright sun came out, and we got like, kind of um, a renewed enthusiasm. Although everything was destroyed, but we can do something like in an hour or so by the time everyone comes. We immediately sent the messages across that no, let all the buses come, let all the students come. And students also somehow got into party mode after seeing this entire thing. So everyone came. So we started at 5 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. and we had a very good program. So out of 1500, can you imagine 1452 students turned up, which was, usually we don't expect like more than 80% turnout. 1452, and we had a great program. And I was like, later on, we all were discussing why did this happen. And I remember, Prabhu, like we all realized that actually we had not been praying to Krishna heartily. What is the result of any service we want? That may our heart cry out in love for Krishna. May our heart, call out for Krishna like Draupadi did, right? And Krishna gave us the blessing even before the seva was completed. And I'm very pleased with your endeavor. Here, take it. And when we did that, Krishna cleared it up also. Isn't it amazing? So see, I had this friend called Divyadev Prabhu. So we were together. He was a year elder to me, but we had been together for many years. So after we graduated from our own colleges, we started working, and then we were told by His Grace Radhesham to preach in a particular place, in a particular college in India. And we were young, like 23, 24, and we started visiting there, and we started doing programs, and it started working out, And in fact, very good devotees came later on from that place. But you know what happened? One time we were supposed to go to one yatra, and this Divyadev Prabhu stayed back in Pune for like a year, a day more, because he was supposed to help with some drama. And later on, he, instead of boarding the train, he boarded a bus. It was one of the most premium buses in India, from where Prabhu is, na, KSRTC. But then they are very notorious. They drive like crazy. They really drive like crazy. They don't mind speed limits and all. And we've not got any cameras and all in India. They don't mind speed limit. They just break all the limits because they want to reach earlier. So this bus plunged into a valley. Everyone on board died. So bad that they could not separate the bodies. They didn't know which body is whose later on. All those, you can say, they're like meatballs plunged into each other. The situation was like that. And the devotees were questioning, why did this happen to, this devotee? So this devotee, Prabhu, he was my very close friend, and he used to have this prayer. So he had some challenges in his mind and body. There's no point discussing that here. But he had some specific challenges. He had a very tough life previously, and so there were some conditionings in his mind, and there were some problems with his body also, some diseases which he had to probably carry on with them for the rest of life. And both these conditionings of the mind and the conditions of the body were actually giving him a lot of challenges in his services, and he had great desire to serve and practice very nicely. So he used to always pray, always have this desire and a prayer to Krishna that, Krishna, please, I need a better situation, like of my body and mind, to be able to perform devotion service very nicely. He had a lot of gratitude for Guru and Vaishnavas. and for Prabhupada. But these were real challenges. And on his own, like there were limited ways of dealing with them. So you know what? Krishna gave him a very fresh body and mind, and I'm sure those must have been like tailor made for him, or like customized for him to be able to serve Krishna very nicely. And he had a great life, whatever he had in Krishna consciousness. You know. So similarly, there was a plane crash one time. There was a plane from Mumbai to uh, Jongsong, yeah, Muktinath, and this plane crashed. I think 3-4 planes have crashed in last 20 years or so in that valley, in Himalayas near Mount Everest. So this plane, it was a small plane, you know, Buddha or Yeti Airlines, Yeti, and this was a big news, okay, all over Nepal and India that time, 2008, I believe, 2008 or 9 something. So this plane, now this devotees had booked tickets like almost a year in advance, almost a year. It was a pilgrimage. Now, how I know so much about this? Because one of my another close friend, Srivas Raj Bihari Prabhu, he was also supposed to be on board that flight, but he missed it because of Mumbai traffic. Can you imagine? This guy covered like 102 holy places out of 108. This 108 are listed Divideshams. He had completed 102 and is about to complete the next one. This is one of the tough holy places to go. It's like very up in the Himalayas, all snow. And he missed this flight. Later on, he was crying like anything. And then after a few hours, there is this news that it crashed. He didn't know whether to become happy or what to do. So there were, I think, 14 passengers and 11 were devotees. Or there were 11 passengers, 8 were devotees. Something around 10 devotees were there. One of them was a brahmachari from Radha Gopinath temple, Chowpatty. And they all died, Prabhu. There was one survivor from that plane. He was not a devotee. He shared later on what happened. Sounds very bad, isn't it? Now hear him. What happened? Then you'll smile. This guy later on, when he came to consciousness in the hospital, he shared that this pilot announced that, you know, controls are failing and the visibility is not there, and suddenly there's some kind of what do you call it? Like yeah, turbulence, and then you don't see like anything like that. Yeah, that thing comes like they have something with some wind kind of. Okay, something like, you know, he said that visibility is not there, and a lot of snow is coming like that. And he said, we don't know what will happen. So basically, he clearly said that we are going to crash in as best words as he could, as sensitively as he could. And he said, like, we have like a minute or so after that, as God wishes. So this person said that he was also a passenger. And he said for 10-15 seconds, it was like a total silence, like standstill moment. Nobody knew what to do. Everybody was like, and then he said, suddenly this group of people, like devotees, you know, from Bombay. So he said, like, one of them suddenly, like, you know, very happily, he just like announced, you know, hey, devotees, Prabhus, Matajis, this is the moment we have been looking for in our lives. This is exactly, Krishna has put us right on the spot, you know, and let's chant his holy names. We have nothing to worry, you know, chant Hari. And then this guy said, we were just wondering, you know, we were in like total shock. And here these people just started, you know, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And he said they were smiling. And he said then they just chanted like for some time and a few seconds. And then I don't remember what happened because we just crashed. There was this loud sound and a lot of pain, and then I just got up now in the hospital. So just see, Prabhu. It appears as if it was pretty bad. But if you see in relationship with eternity, So they've gone back to Godhead. What is like, few moments of pain if you get eternal gain? Correct? So it may appear, or sometimes it appears like in India there are these trains, sleeper and AC, right? So sometimes the TT comes, TC, ticket checker, he comes and he tells a person, hey, get out of this bogie, this sleeper bogie. This is not your seat. I told you, right? This is not your seat. Get out. And others may feel, oh, he's being very rude. Like, let them sit. What's the problem? And then immediately these people like gather their stuff and they're getting out. Seems like the TC is very rude, but we don't know the TC has actually allocated them a seat in the AC compartment where they can be cool and comfortable. So we usually only see the half part or one-sided part. So just like a child thinks that why are my parents pushing me into like going to school and kindergarten and all? Why are they taking me to hospital or clinic, getting me some medicines? They don't understand. Why are they not getting me those chocolates, or why are they not letting me play with the fire or smoke? Something like that. The child may have his own interpretation, but the day he gets that full trust that actually my parents love me, they are my best well wishers, he understands whatever they are doing for me, it must be for my good. So yeah. So actually, we don't know what kind of reciprocation Krishna is doing with them. Maybe one of the days, maybe day after tomorrow morning, we can read this one chapter from. It's just like 5-6 pages chapter number 9, I believe, from the 4th section of the beggar series of His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. He was from Pennsylvania, Gita Nagari. So he writes this series like wherein he had got a cancer. He had got this cancer and this cancer was eating him up. It was 2005, January, February. And then June he left his body. He went to spiritual world. So he writes this books, like these are some of his final realizations. And in that he writes how this cancer was the greatest blessing Krishna ever gave him. You know why? Because he said that while he was down with cancer, those 6 months or 8 months or whatever, all sorts of devotees were coming and meeting him from all over the US. Even those people who were attending his programs were coming and meeting him. And he was able to reach to their hearts because of being in that condition. And all of them took to devotional service so much. And he said there were proper disciples who came to meet him. And they probably came to meet, some of them came to meet some devotees like after 3 decades. They left Krishna consciousness and association of devotees. And they came, like someone came after 1975 directly in 2005. Because they heard about this, that our old friend is dying, okay? And on his deathbed, they promised him, we'll come back to Krishna consciousness. We have always been trying to, but we didn't have the strength. But he could give them strength. They came to solace him, but they all went smiling in love with Krishna. He said that I could never have done this magical service even in next 10 years without the help of this cancer cells. So all my obeisances to these cancer cells. Amazing, isn't it? Their joy comes from remembering Krishna. As Srimad Bhagavatam says, Narayana parasarve na katashana bibhyati swarga apavarga narkeshu apitulyartha darshana. For a devotee, Lord Shiva is speaking this verse to Mother Parvati, talking about Chitraketu, whom she just cursed, so that he has to suffer. Lord Shiva says, these people are devotees of Krishna, they don't suffer, okay? Because you put them in heaven or hell. You put them in heavenly condition or hellish condition, even on the planet Earth. These guys are always into remembering Krishna and chanting his holy names. The external conditions don't matter to them. Pain is there, but they don't suffer because they are always Krishna conscious. Yeah. Prabhu,
Is it true that in Bhakti Swami's dying condition, he convinced Raghunath Maharaj to write that?
Yes. He did that. Nobody else could have done that because he was the closest friend of Maharaj. And in that condition, Radhanath Maharaj could not have said no to him. Yeah. Many of Radhanath Maharaj's disciples actually pleaded to him that Maharaj, these things are like, golden nectar. And these things are like jewels and diamonds of realizations and experiences. And this has been like Krishna's reciprocation with you. How can you like just keep them with you? And Maharaj will just smile. You are my disciple. You can't say anything. Of course, he never said that, but he meant that. I had some words with some of his close associates. So they said nobody else could have done that. But they had like hands held together. And before Bhaktidev Maharaj spelled out this request, he took a promise from Maharaj. Can you give me some gift? And he said, yeah, whatever, you please. So yeah, all glories to him. And Prabhu, in our personal lives also, you can see, Prabhu, if you look back in your own life, there must have been times where you would have been frustrated, or you would have thought, oh, what bad time is this? Or why is this thing happening with me? And then after some time, if you do the math, oh my God, that was the best thing which happened to me. I can share that with you. So after I completed my, what do you call here, high school, like 12th. So we wrote this exam, IIT JEE, and I was like so confident because I was into this top batch of this Kota Institute. In Kota, we had this institution. That time only limited were there, and there were only limited seats all over India also in those colleges. And our top batch all were like expected to get into very high ranks, at least 3-digit rank in IIT, if not 2. And most of them got also, and I got very bad rank. That time 4207, which was like almost the last. And I was so shocked because I had my plans ready to go to IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi. And I was like, why has this happened with me? I've been such a good boy. Why is God doing this to me? I was so frustrated. And couple of months were very difficult for me. And then I somehow had this rank in AIEEE. There was another exam in those days. There I had 355 rank. So I was like, anything I was getting. So I went, because I just wanted to go to a better place rather than Guwahati. There was not much option that time. So then I went to this Suratkal because it was a good college, and any branch we were getting. So I took up this chemical because my father had a chemical business. So he told me. My elder brother also took that only previously. So then I was very, very down in that college first 20 days. And the food was so, because they had something and they just named it food. I really wondered, why don't you put a tag of rubber or something and sell it in the market? That kind of thing. And what kind of behavior they were doing, and hostels were in shambles. Hardly electricity would be there. And especially in the morning, no water in the washroom. Like, my God, this is what crazy place I've come to, I was really wondering. And then I remember 11th August 2004, the best day of my life, because I met devotees for the first time. Art of mind control. Okay. I don't know where is my mind and where is the control. So at that time I was like, let me go, some change, from all this. And I'd got a lot of questions. So they talked about the Gita and Mahamantra and all. And then I went on attending their courses like every day, next 15 days, like this Gita in the evening, Gita course, like couple of hours. And I had all those questions like about life, death, karma, and all those things. And because of which, Prabhu, I ate so much prasad. I didn't eat in mess like those 15 days. I would just wait for that because that was not just relief, but that was amazing. And so, Prabhu, when I look back in my life, I really thank Krishna for the same thing, for the very same thing which I had been blaming him all this while. I just told Krishna, I'm so sorry, this is the best thing you ever did to me, because had you sent me to Delhi or Mumbai, in those schools, I would have just spoiled my life probably.
I also actually had the same experience when I completed my PhD.
Yeah.
So I had like multiple offers. Like I had one from Germany, one from Paris, and one from Israel. So
Israel. Oh, okay.
so that time, I chose US because US had
Yeah.
but the lab I was working it was little tough. The tough time I had. Then I was thinking why I declined all those offers and I came here. From all the places I choose here. And but then one day when I met the devotees and
Yeah.
then I said, hey, these are Krishna's plan. Like
Yeah, it happens like that. I remember in our college, like same college, okay, we we preached nicely for 2 years, and then a lot of anti-preaching happened. So for one semester, we were like banned, literally banned. Not just banned, some of our like academic what do you call it, like registration was at stake, because we were like, oh, these guys have been doing all these activities, infiltrating the hostels and other places, and without any permission, and we had to like stop all our activities. But then that gave us the impetus to go official. So then we endeavored, and we started cultivating the director himself, and he became so happy with us. And I remember first time in India, like in any school, we officially got Krishna consciousness established as a club inside the college, and then and college started paying for all our activities henceforward, you know, and everything went official. And if that if the twist would not have come of difficulty, of challenging time, then would have never even imagined or gone for that. And starting there, many other places in India, then like devotees enthusiasm opened up, their confidence came up. And look, today it's like so many places we are. So actually, when challenges come in a devotee's life, so for all of us who are like practicing sadhakas, is for our purification. That's why Krishna gives difficulties. And for great souls, it's for their glorification. So either purification or glorification. And in both ways, in whatever it is sadhaka or a great soul. In both ways, when others see the response of the devotees to those challenges, then their faith increases. If Prabhupada would not have got challenges, so many challenges in India and then in America, right? From 1944 to 1966, 22 years of consistent challenges. So much so that his entire work in Jhansi was destroyed. But because of that, Prabhupada's disciples were so grateful to him. So today also we can have tears of gratitude for Prabhupada. You read his letters even before coming to America. I've read those letters. You will be amazed what kind of heart this person was carrying. He did it all for me, for us. And that helps us so much in Krishna consciousness. If Prabhupada was just like having a no challenge journey, like a red carpet welcome in America and everything like arranged for him, probably would not have valued Krishna consciousness that much. Would not have. Today you see Prabhupada disciples, they so much affection, so much, such attachment, right? And they just cry thinking of Prabhupada. I was there in Boston, and this His Grace Mukta Vandya Prabhu. Such simple heart and just such joy to just. He said, Prabhupada would be very pleased if you preach and distribute his books. I mean, that conviction, because they saw Prabhupada struggling. They saw, he was sharing in a class how this person was so genuine. He was working so hard. We could see that. So those things only added fuel to the fire of Krishna consciousness in the hearts of those young followers, isn't it? So it's very helpful actually. So those struggles, those challenges, they are the greatest friends of a sadhaka, of a practicing devotee. Because they help that devotee to gain a platform or a launch pad to express his devotion to Krishna and to intensify his bhakti. Just like Narada, first canto, 5th chapter, 6th chapter, they describe the story of Narada. Narada shares how Krishna gave him a kind of glimpse, of his spiritual form and pure realizations, and then Krishna vanished, and he said that now you intensify your bhakti for the rest of your life, so that you become just like you take sweets, those early morning sweets, they're so nice. Correct? I'm assuming, yeah, you have here, right? See, wherever Gopal is there, their sweets are supposed to be there. Like, yeah. No. You honestly assumed we were talking about you. But we were talking about you. So just a minute. So Gopal loves sweets. The Gopal form of Krishna. So wherever Gopal is there, a lot of sweets. If you go to Nathadwara, sweets. After every 15 minutes, so many sweets come out. Starts with morning 5 o'clock. Makhan Mishri. Who eats at 5 o'clock? They do. I was born there in that sampradaya. So, uh, these challenges actually they are our closest friends. You know who says that? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was the guru of the guru of Srila, guru of the guru of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. Okay. Kunti Maharani is also asking for Vipadas. Of course, that's a little different kind of Vipada. But these things only help. Like Kunti Mataji, another Prabhupada disciple. So she had some kind of disease or cancer where if she would lift a book, like her wrist bone would crack. Yeah, that kind of disease. Anything with some weight. And then if she would try to get up, so then the fingers would crack. Like you put any pressure. She was just literally like a vegetable, just lying now. She was from America. I don't remember the Kunti Mataji, proper disciple, Kunti Devi Dasi. So she was an American lady. In her old age, she got this, and she had rendered service throughout her life. Simple devotee. Okay. When she was in those days, just lying down, and again many devotees would come to meet her, and they only went filled with joy of Krishna consciousness after meeting her. So she was reading this Prabhupada books with some digital. In those days, they didn't have all this Kindles and all, I believe, but there was some kind of digital board on which devotees arranged for her to read Prabhupada books through that. So she shared this, that in this stage, like what I am in, when I'm reading these books, I'm feeling like Prabhupada is personally speaking to me. The way I'm able to, experience love of Krishna in my heart, reading Krishna's words, reading Bhagavatam's glorification of Krishna through Prabhupada, I never felt so. And she was asking this question, why didn't I have this? Why was I not put in this condition before? Can you imagine? And not just this, Prabhu. We have experienced, there was one devotee just 20 years back, maybe 18, 20 years back. His name was Stoka Krishna Prabhu. I've heard a lot about him. Chopati. He brought a great transformation in a very famous devotee's life. I'll tell you that name after a couple of minutes. First you hear. Stoka Krishna Prabhu was a young brahmachari in Chopati temple. And he was a very simple person. Didn't have any BTechs and all this, whatever degrees or college qualifications we have. He didn't have anything. Very simple guy. It is said that he never did anything properly. Like some people are there, they keep making silly mistakes. Like if they're putting the cord here, then somehow this laptop will fall. You've seen this kind of thing, they fumble in everything. You hand over the car to them, they'll come back with a ticket. Somehow or other they have to mess up. So he was like that. And there's other devotees other ashram mates or some seniors like Gaurangpu and all that. At least one thing you should learn to do properly. He would chant. Or he would sometimes, he would make his own Maha Mantra, 6, 17 words, 15 words, all that. So he was a disaster, but he was very sincere, very humble. Oh, Prabhu, sorry, Prabhu, let me, and always very eager to serve. Okay. And he was not expert at anything. Like in ISKCON, usually, typically 3 things people like to be expert at: singing or anything, music, Second thing, speaking. And third thing, cooking. Right? He was a disaster in all 3. He is not someone whom you you can just hand over those things and go. No. He was just literally a servant of the servant. That's all he could do. You know. And you know what? He just spent few years in ashram, like up to the age of 32 or so, and then he changed ashram. He got married. Okay. Which again, some people in India may call as failure. Okay. He got married, then after a year, he got a daughter. And then after a year of getting that daughter, he got cancer. Yeah. Young wife, a small baby to be taken care of, and he got cancer. And such cancer, it was detected in terminal stage. So this 35-year-old guy is surely about to die in this maybe a couple of months or so. That was his condition. His body started totally like getting emaciated. You could see that. There are videos about him. Okay. What is that title? That video? It's a Guru's Grace or something. Guru's Grace or something like that. Anyway, you will get that. It's not a very difficult thing. So in his last days, like he was there in Chowpatty only. So he was spending his last days in front of the deities only. Like he would come to the temple hall and all, take darshan of deities. And you know what, Prabhu? He could not even speak because his mouth also, his jaws were not having the strength. His hand also would not that much lift. So there was only one devotee who had developed the ability to understand what he's communicating. So one time Gaurang Prabhu, who was his quite close senior friend in ashram, so Gaurang Prabhu and some other devotee, they saw his condition and they were talking to this devotee doctors from Bhaktivedanta Hospital, Dwarkadish Prabhu. They were saying, Prabhu, something must be there in the world. Anywhere, any treatment is there at any cost. Get him that. We can't see him like that. And Dwarkadish Prabhu said, Prabhu, nothing, this is beyond any human effort. It's just a matter of some time now. And that time, this devotee, he didn't know what they were talking. So it seemed that Gaurang Prabhu's button got torn off, this, from the kurta. So this devotee, Stoka Krishna, was lying, okay, like unable to move also, and he's doing like, and he's speaking something in the air. And this devotee was taking care of him. He knew. He was, oh, okay. And Gaurang was like, what is he saying? What does he want to say? And he was smiling, Stoka Krishna Prabhu. And this devotee who was taking care, he said, Prabhu, he's saying, can someone get me a needle and some thread? I just want to, because Gaurang Prabhu is such a nice preacher. And I used to help him all the time. And I'm so sorry I'm unable to help. But now I want to do this service. And Gaurang Prabhu was like in tears, Gaurang Prabhu said, where will I get such a friend as you? Not because you want to, but and Gaurang Prabhu, so he left after 3-4 days. Yes, he left the body. You know what Gaurang Prabhu said in his realization when he was glorifying him? He said, last 12-13 years, while I was in ashram with him, I thought, what use is this guy? Like, how do you say it? Like, what use is being this guy? Okay, because he doesn't do anything properly. He messes everything up. He doesn't have any talent or any, and he changed ashram also, and he's like nobody. But he said, today I feel like empty because I lost such a true gem of a friend. And Radhanath Maharaj told, and many other senior devotees also told, that he went back to Godhead. Because you know why? In his last days, he used to keep crying in joy. And he used to say that, I'm so grateful that Krishna gave me association of devotees just for 10 years. He was not devotee since childhood, just for last 10 years. And I don't know what was my qualification that I got to live for 5-6 years in ashram in association of these devotees, great devotees. And he said, I didn't have any qualification to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And how did I get such a great spiritual master as my spiritual master? And he was just praying that, Krishna, in my next life, whatever you do with me, just give me the association of devotees. ISKCON devotees, let me serve Prabhupada. And Maharaj said, because of that humble and extremely grateful disposition, he actually went back to Godhead. Because he never complained, not even once. So yeah, he was in great pain, great pain. His body was emaciated. But just as Krishna gave Bharat Maharaj, when he became deer, Krishna gave Bharat Maharaj the remembrance of devotional service. Similarly, Krishna does that even while giving some challenge to devotees. Fifth canto says, Vishnu Chakra Thakur says in the commentary that Bharat Maharaj did not have the karma to become a deer. Then why did he become one? Because that was Krishna's mercy. So that he will never forget Krishna now. He will not get attached to anything else. So see, why such challenges suddenly appear in a devotee's life? It's difficult to say what karma or how much desire of Krishna, what orchestration of the Lord. Whatever it is coming by the sanction of the Lord, and therefore it is His mercy. And whether it is for some remaining purification, or whether it is for glorification, or whether it is simply to teach others by that example, how a devotee responds, or whether it is a special arrangement for preaching to happen, just like Jesus Christ was crucified and see how today Christianity spread so much because that is a very symbol of Christianity, So as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, in any case, it is our greatest friend. It is our greatest opportunity. And in the long run, it doesn't matter for that. It's not even a flash in front of eternity. Okay?
So touching with that actually, and the example you quoted actually, I would say like my faith actually,
Yeah.
so it has increased tremendously.
Haribo. Prabhupada says that he was telling to Tamal Krishna Maharaj and some other devotees in the West Coast. Is there in one of the books of Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Prabhupada is sharing that my wife, Prabhupada was very sad while sharing this. I served my wife and my family for like 3 decades. And when I told them that I want to serve Krishna, they were not cooperating. When I wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita, my wife sold it for biscuits. Just to get some biscuits, she sold it like old paper. And Prabhupada was so sad when Prabhupada said that I asked my wife, today you have to choose either tea or me. And my wife started sipping the tea. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj immediately said, Prabhupada, we are so grateful to your wife. Because she chose tea, not you. And that's why we got you. And Prabhupada was like, From Prabhupada's point of view, it was like, and Tamal Krishna and all their devotees, Prabhupada's wife ki jai. So, it was for good, right? One question was asked when Tamal Krishna Maharaj departed, I think in 2002 or 3, near Mayapur. He underwent a car accident, terrible car accident. Like he must have left his body like in less than 10 seconds. The way the car was, and the body was mutilated totally, So in entire India, not many accidents happen of that sort. It was an accident of that sort. Totally like, the car was. So later on, devotees were questioning, how can this happen to someone like Tamal Krishna Maharaj? And then one great Prabhupada disciple, many of them, they answered that Tamal Krishna Maharaj was so dear to Krishna, Krishna might not be wanting to give him any pain. Like 1 or 2 seconds is okay now. You have to have when you give up your body. But there was no pain of old age, no pain of any disease, correct? Na? Just left like on the moment, at the spur of the moment. I'll tell you this last example. It's very, very dear to 2 examples I can share, like that, which I have experienced. Okay. Not personally, but I mean in my life I have seen that happening, So Radheshampu's mother, you'd like to hear about her? How Krishna reciprocated with her in his death. Very personal thing. Radheshampu shared this. So she was a South Indian lady, and she was a very devoted, chaste wife. probably one of the last ideal Vedic wives on the planet. His father was also like very ideal kind of person, very principled. You may as well call him a very orthodox person in practical. So his mother was there once in Srirangam temple in Tamil Nadu, and that time his own as Radhanath Maharaj was visiting the temple. So Maharaj is about to go inside for darshan, and um, uh, Mataji was just there, and she knew Tamil, so she was sharing some things about the temple, like about the deity with Maharaj and other devotees. And Maharaj said, "How can I serve you?" So she said, "No, nothing." And Maharaj said, "Can I pray for you something?" She said, "Yeah, you can offer some prayers for me." Maharaj said, "What? What is it which you desire in your life? I'll offer that prayer to the Lord." So she said, she had two prayers. Okay, one prayer was that please pray to the Lord Ranganath that I should die before my husband, because he is such a great he has been such a great person, like his character is so good, and he's my husband, so I don't want to see him dying. That would be more than death for me. So let me die after my husband dies, and let his death be glorious. Okay, she said like that. Second thing she said, now I'm an old lady, I know very soon many diseases will come, and then a lot of people will have to care for me, and especially I've seen many people dying, and then like before the death, sometimes for many years they are in hospital or they are on the bed, and then somebody has to do this, somebody has to do that, a lot of expenses come, and especially people have to spend their time and energy caring for that person. She said, for me it's unthinkable to take service from someone, whatever it is, but I cannot. So she said that let me die without giving even a minute of trouble to anyone. Please pray. Now these are very, I mean, you can't just, these are not general things. I mean, they are very specific. And will that happen? Will Krishna hear? So Radhanath Maharaj offered the prayers. Several years passed by. You heard of this? You have not heard? You must have heard. No? Yeah. So later on, now just see what happens. Huh? They both shift to Pune. That time they were not in Pune. That time they were in Tamil Nadu only, Madurai. So later on they shift to Pune. That was not expected. Okay, somehow it happened. They got convinced. And his father was otherwise a very orthodox person. And they were just next to the temple. There is a apartment building in Barsana, right? Yeah. So they were there in that. And his father got so sick actually. It was clear. Sorry. No, his father was. No. Yeah, his father got very sick. Correct. His father got very sick first. Correct. And so their daughters are already like married, and they are also of quite senior age. But they had their own family, so they were not there. And Radheshyam Prabhu is a busy man. He's just serving, going all around the planet, right? So everyone was expecting that his father would leave like today, day after tomorrow. I mean, not exactly like literally. I mean to say like anytime. Correct, na? In fact, that message was floated to us 2-3 times that please pray or something like that. His father was really on bed, and Mataji was totally well, totally fit. She would attend the morning program. She would do services like garlands and all. So like that, one fine day in the evening, she would attend the especially the Shayan Arti, like last kirtan of the night, and then she would go back and she would take rest by 9 o'clock, 9:30, and that's what she did one night. And then next morning she didn't get up only. So the husband was like calling, and some one or two other devotees would help them. So they were also, and then they found out that she just left the body, smilingly on the, she just, doctor said it was just natural death, we don't. So that happened. So she left, and then after some time, after a very short while, husband also left, and both were quite Krishna conscious. Their last moments were with deities and devotees only, And of course, they are Radhishampru's parents, what to say. And Radhishampru shares they led a sinless life, from all practical points of view. The point here is, Prabhu, Krishna reciprocates. Just see. I mean, this is a very special case, right? Doesn't happen like that. So then Radhishampru is sharing that Ranganath blessed her with these things. So actually, Krishna is very personal, Prabhu. And as you advance in Krishna consciousness, you will see that these fears or these reservations about should Krishna give me this or that, this will go away. In Bible, there is a section where Jesus was about to be caught. So he offers this prayer in the previous night. He says that I think one of my disciples has like compromised my position, my location, like where I am. He shares. So Jesus says that should I run to another place and hide, or should I? He was praying to the Lord. So he said, my dear Lord, somehow I am feeling that like you are trying to get me caught. You have some plan. But I am not planning like that. But finally, let thy will be done. Right? This is a very famous statement from Bible. Prabhu, correct?
Yeah, I don't know the quote, but I
Yeah, let thy will be done. Which means I am not having that plan. I am not comfortable with if that is your plan, my dear Lord, to get me caught and then I should be like put to a lot of misery. But if that is what you want, then I want your will be done. And that's what happened then immediately. As soon as he prayed, within a few hours, the next sunrise, he was caught. And he wanted to be caught. I mean, he wanted Krishna's will to be done, whatever it was. So he just surrendered. And just see, because he surrendered, look how Christianity spread. And today, in the name of Jesus, maximum people on this planet, they just, So actually, okay, I told you one more incident I'll share. Na? Okay. This is the most personal to me because Gaurangpur told this to me personally, one-on-one. And of course, he took a promise to me. He took a promise from me, when he shared this. He told me, promise me, if you, in your entire life, if you see any devotee or anybody leaving their body, especially a devotee, you will chant for him. You will be there, pray for him and chant for him. And he said, this is the most important service we have to do. Sometimes we say devotee care. We say so many things about devotee care. He said the topmost devotee care is to help a devotee remember Krishna at the time of death. He said, will you do that? I said, Prabhu, yes. And I did that, Prabhu, for many devotees, including 2 cows in our Goshala. While I was there, the cows were living body. I have done even 6 hours kirtan continuously when a cow was being operated and she left body. In the night, entire night. Because I promised to Gaurangpur. So you know what he shared with me? He shared about his father's death. You heard about this? Okay. You must have heard. क्या बात कर रहे हो? You not heard?
I don't remember.
Okay, I'll share. Maybe you might have heard. Anyway, so yeah. So see, I'll just summarize the initial part because it may take time. So Gaurangpur, when he joined, so it was very, like for his family, they were not accepting that. It was like rebellion only from them. They would not even talk to him for a long time. Almost like 8 or 9 years, they were not on good terms because he joined full time. He was from IIT. So his family, although were Tamilian family, but they had like his entire life he had spent in central India. His father had a job, almost 30-40 years he did that job in Madhya Pradesh that time, later Chhattisgarh. You know this, right? Okay. Anyways, that's why he is like, you have heard his Hindi lectures? They're like so typical Hindi, So very pure Hindi. Yeah. So because he was there. So his father had a lot of ambitions. His father and mother and many other relatives. Like, many of his family members come many times to Kashi also, Varanasi, for pilgrimage. So I've interacted with them. So when he joined, it was not something they could accept so easily. Then it was around 2001, 2, 3, in that period, early 2000s, that his parents started interacting with Radhanath Maharaj. Somehow they started having some, because they met him in the US also sometimes. So they got, then they said, you are not a good guy, but your spiritual master is very good. So by Radhanath Maharaj association, on and off, they picked up devotional service. So much so that they both got initiated. Okay. And sometimes devotees would say, "Na, Arey, you will go back to Godhead. Your son is, he is useless. We will go back to Godhead. Our own." Anyway, they had like very good times with Krishna consciousness. Few years, just few years, like maybe 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know how many years, but few years only. After becoming a devotee, so his father was quite sick, and then he was taken to various hospitals. Okay, when he was very very sick, so he was brought to Mumbai, and there's one very costly and a very big private hospital. So there he was taken for treatment. He was there for few days. All the best of the doctors tried. Finally, they said one evening, like around 6 o'clock or so, one evening they said, mostly tomorrow he'll leave. Like, but they have a system in the medical field that they say that they give hope to the patient till last moment, even if they know 100% sure there's no hope. Still, they have this. They're taught like this in the medical school. So, Gaurang Prabhu's relatives also, some of them were there, and Gaurang Prabhu said, "Now at least you allow me to take my father to Bhaktivedanta Hospital, Devotees Association. It's a very good hospital. It's a professional one, although not the same way as this." And he said that I want, he's a devotee and he's my father. I want him to have Krishna conscious departure. Because his father was not even in a state of like responding. Okay. So they said, no, you guys are like transcendental people. You don't, we don't. Gaurang Prabhu said, no, that place is very good. But see, even Gaurang Prabhu cannot convince his own people. That's the problem. No? Your own family members, they never take you seriously. So in the evening at around 7 o'clock, Gaurang Prabhu made a call to Madhavanand Prabhu, who is the director of Bhaktivedanta Hospital. He himself is a qualified doctor. So then he came. And then he gave basic Gita course, 6-session course, for 2-3 hours to his family members outside the ICU. And that convinced them. At least they agreed, whether reluctantly or happily, but they agreed. And then night 10 o'clock, they brought his father to Bhaktivedanta Hospital. They got him admitted, and he was in ICU. And because he was Gaurang Prabhu's father, and of course an initiated devotee, so many devotees and nurses and doctors, they were all like, somebody was reading Krishna book, somebody put on the entire ceiling, like, was the patient is lying like that, so Krishna deity and Gaurang Mahaprabhu deity, and like, wherever somebody put the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and devotees were, after every few minutes, they were, sprinkling Ganges water and putting Charnamrit droplets in his mouth. Okay. And many Prabhupada disciples called, Sachinandan Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj, many Prabhupada disciples made calls from different countries, and they chanted for a few minutes each Hare Krishna Mahamantra in his father's ears. He was not able to respond, but chanting. And devotees were offering prayer. And of course, they were paying medical attention, and Gaurang Prabhu was there. So Gaurang Prabhu was sharing that I was happy that my father was receiving mercy of devotees. They were trying their best to help him remember Krishna and help him have a very comfortable, whatever, that departure possible. One very important thing, there's a tradition in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. If a devotee leaves his body, you know what they do? They practice 6 loving exchanges as taught by Radhanath Maharaj. So Gaurang Prabhu said, first time I experienced that. So what they do, they have the patient. Now they bring, in his case, they brought like his family members and Gaurang Prabhu himself. So then they say to the patient is not able to respond sometimes, right? So they say to the patient that first thing, we thank you for all that you have done in our life for us. And we want to tell you that we are very satisfied about that, and we are very thankful and grateful about you have done a lot for us, you've done all your duties, and we are very satisfied. Thank you so much. And they immediately see the change in vitals, because the patient feels relaxed. Because everyone who is about to die, he wants to know whether I was of value, whether I was of service, whether I was or whether I was a liability or a pain to you in your life. So, second loving exchange. Then they say, we know that you are not able to express, but you are also satisfied with us, with whatever we could do in your life, in your life for you. Oh my God, that again, another change in the vitals. Patient is more relaxed. It's like the weights we carry sometimes in relationships, they are being put there. Third exchange. They say that there have been times and there have been incidents where we had complaints for you about you, like we were not happy. And then they sometimes they express also that thing. But now when we look back, it was not big deal, and actually that was good. And they said we have totally forgotten about those things and forgiven. We don't have any hard feelings. Just and again a change in the vitals, because people do carry those memories, both sides. And fourth loving exchange. We know that we have also given you pain, tough times, and then they relate, this way, that way. And then they say, but we have also forgiven you in our heart. Today we let go of all those, because you did your best. We know that you never meant those things. They just happened. Oh my God. And then the fifth and sixth is they offer prayers and best wishes spiritually, like for each other. That and we say that we will chant for you and we pray to Krishna for you. And thank you for giving us samskaras also. The what do you call in English? Impression, huh? Oh, you know samskara. Fine, it was for you only, so that's all right. I mean, they all know samskara. So yeah, impressions. That's right. Actually, I thought maybe some other word is there. In fact, we have a youth program called Impressions, which we named after samskara. So then they thank, and then they pray. They offer prayers, for spiritual perfection, and they say, "You also please bless us." These 6 loving exchanges, after that are done, the patient is very relieved, and then he's very easily able to remember Krishna. Because when you carry too many weights, or when your stomach is filled with stool and urine, it becomes very difficult to relish fresh food, right? But when you are like relieved of all those. And then his father departed early in the morning, 4-5 a.m., like that. Very Krishna conscious atmosphere, very peacefully. Then Gauramku says, I had too much to process, He said, my heart was overwhelming with gratitude, and my head was totally convinced once again of the path of bhakti. And he said, I just wanted some moments alone. So I went and sat down in a place in a hospital. And you know what was the meditation? He was sharing with us. He said that day I recommitted myself to Prabhupada's service. Because he said, 15 years back I had joined this movement as a brahmachari. And for several years I got so many blemishes. My family members, friends, many people in the society, they call you Takla, Ganju, Shendi. In India, they can really make you feel miserable, And you're like irresponsible guy, you wasted a seat at IIT. And so many things, And sometimes devotees also add flavors, Take this price. You're good for nothing, And Gauramku had this habit of sleeping 2 hours in the daytime, whether he sleeps 8 hours, 6 hours in the night. Yeah, those first 10 years of ashram. So he was saying sometimes devotees would curse for that also. So he said, and sometimes devotees would say, people would say that, hey, you are so intelligent, you could have been like a big guy at Google or Microsoft, probably a CEO of some big tech company. And what did you gain, all this? You just joined ashram, and what is this, some cotton dhoti you have, that's all. What did you do for your parents? People ask this question in India especially. What did you do for your parents? Your parents had a tough life before you went to a good school, and then later on you were supposed to give them a royal life. And what did you do to them? Nothing. And Gaurangpur said, today I can inflate my chest and stand in front of the entire world. What did you give to your parents? I gave them straight path to the spiritual world, entrance to the spiritual world. Even the Microsoft CEO, Google CEO cannot give their parents, cannot give themselves entrance into spiritual world. My parents, they got love of devotees. Pure devotees chanted for them, prayed for them, and they went back to Godhead. I am proud of what I did for my father. The biggest service a son can ever do to his father. And therefore, today, once again, I promise to Krishna, rest of my life is for his service, because he gave such affectionate departure to my father. I am proud of that decision which I took 15 years back of joining the ashram. Once again, I join.
Touching with his story, and like I would say, like it has actually increased my faith like tremendously, and because it's so personal stories.
Yeah.
So very.
Actually, Krishna is so personal. You see departure of Haridas Thakur in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You see, it comes in Antalila. It's very beautiful. You must go through it sometime. Or we can read it maybe someday in the daytime. Or you can read 9th chapter of the first canto, Bhishma's departure. Such personal reciprocation of Krishna. Such personal. In fact, Krishna is so merciful. Anyone leaves body in Vrindavan or in presence of Krishna, even in front of Krishna's deity, he goes back to Godhead. Everyone in the battlefield of Kurukshetra went back to Godhead, even from Kaurava side, because they left in front of Krishna, in presence of Krishna, and killed by Arjuna's arrows. Arjuna's arrows. So they got Ananda of the spiritual world. Netre pibanto nayanabhiramam. Parthastra puta. Partha astra puta. With the arrows of Partha, Arjuna. Krishna is so merciful actually. All he has in store is love for us. Okay. So sometimes you may use these some troubles. Like sometimes you do an Uber to go to which direction is JFK? Or wherever you go, airport or No, just tell me. I don't know which is east here. Which direction? This direction. Okay. So let's say you're going to JFK and you do an Uber, but sometimes the Uber may go like this, because then you'll be going like this. The way may be like that because it's right direction here. You understanding what I'm saying? The first few minutes it may appear like as if he's taking you away from the destination. But then similarly, sometimes for some cross section of our life, it may appear that Krishna, what is Krishna doing? Just like when you want to throw a stone very far, you pull that thing like this, like a bowler in cricket, like he goes so back to actually come in front and bowl very fast, isn't it? So that time, make sure you continue to trust Krishna. We can conclude by this formula. You can also repeat. We all can repeat. Look back and thank Krishna. Self-explanatory, right? When you look back in your life, for many things you can thank Krishna. Look ahead and trust Krishna. Because he loves us more than anyone else. He's Sodam Sarva Bhutana. He'll do the best thing for us. He's our ever well wisher. So look ahead and trust Krishna. Look around and what is it? Serve Krishna? Look around. Okay, look around and serve Krishna. Look within and find Krishna. Is there as Paramatma. right? Giving us intelligence, ideas, memories, guilts, warning us, patting us on the back when we do the right thing. He's the closest. He's literally the closest friend we have. Like literally, even if you embrace someone, you can't like tear open your chest and get that friend inside, right? But Krishna is sitting in the region of the heart. Rid deshe Arjuna tishtati. And look around and serve Krishna. Everywhere you look around, you can see opportunities to render service to Krishna by serving devotees, by serving the people, by connecting them to Krishna. Very beautiful, no? These four, these four sutras themselves can be elaborated for quite long. So anyway, thank you, Prabhu. What a beautiful question. It helped we also to get floods of memories. Now I'm remembering many more things, but really, and that's why we need each other's association actually. So faith always comes, and faithlessness always comes also by association of those who have them. If you associate with those devotees who have somehow got victimized by offensive mentality or faithlessness, we'll also become victims. And if you associate with devotees who have faith and enthusiasm, just like people who associate with Prabhupada. Prabhupada was like a nuclear bomb of Krishna consciousness. Yeah, small but extremely effective and powerful. Thank you. So we'll just hear a few minutes from other devotees also, their faith part.
I was thinking that a few days ago, Arjun Prabhu was saying that when Ishta Goshti happens, then in the first 20 minutes we read Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yeah.
Then we discuss the problems.
Yeah.
And I mean, he basically was trying to say that once one is in the mood of Krishna consciousness, then problems are automatically solved.
Right.
So by listening to all this, I think whatever doubts I have, like they've kind of evaporated.
Haribo. Yeah. Krishna is Akhila Jagata Guru. So he's your best friend also. Right? You're only 1/3 of Akhila Jagat Guru. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
True, what's your name? I think I missed your.
Suraj.
Suraj. Oh, this is very less Suraj here, by the way.
I forgot the proper disciple name, but I heard from him. So he was saying his story when he joined Krishna consciousness. So initially he was not ready to bow down to the deities, and he was not trusting the process, and he didn't like the devotees, and he was thinking like everyone was wasting time, kind of. He was having that mentality, but he stayed few days for some reason in the temple, and then again he was leaving, and he told he didn't like the thing. So the devotees challenged him, that okay, if you want you can leave, but you don't have guts to chant. You cannot chant this thing. This is not for you. Like that, they challenged him. Then he told that no, I cannot chant. I can chant. Nothing will
My
happen.
God, this is very unique preaching.
Nothing will happen to me. I will chant, and he stayed and he chanted. And after some days, he automatically, when the curtains opened and when he saw the deities, he was bowing down. Then he looked back, and he saw that what I'm doing different, which I don't wanted to do, I'm doing it automatically.
Yeah.
Then it was chanting.
Thank you. So your faith comes by seeing the effect which simple act of chanting Hare Krishna, even without any intention, can do. Yeah, this is similar to Ajamila. Mriyamano Hare Nama, Granan Putropacharitam, Ajamilo Apyagadama, Kimuta Shraddhaya Granan. Shukdev Goswami is saying, Mriyamano Hare Nama. Mriyamano means he never intended to chant holy names of the Supreme Lord. He never intended to call out the Lord. He was just Granan Putropacharitam. He was like calling out his son's name. Yet Ajamilo Apyagadama. He got delivered from all the sinful reactions of 53 years of sinful life. 53 years. Because 25, at the age of 25, he fell down. At the age of 88, he saw Yamadutas. But because he chanted in a helpless state the names of Krishna, he got delivered. So he's telling Kimuda Shraddhaya Granan, what to say of the glories of chanting the holy name when you do it with intention and faith. Shraddhaya Granan. Granan means you want to chant the holy name, and Shraddhaya means with faith. Kimuta, what to say of chanting with faith intentionally. Thank you. Actually, I also tell this to many devotees at times. They have like, Prabhu, this problem, that problem, this devotee is having. Just, I always ask such devotees who are having such issues or something. Prabhu, just give me one year or 2 years of yours, like depending on the case. You just chant. One time, one boy from one IIT in India, he told me like, Prabhu, my intellect is giving so many doubts and questions, and no, I'm not getting satisfied with any answers. So I want to leave the process. I said, okay. He was in undergrad, second year. I just told him, just give me like 3 semesters, 1.5 years. You just follow the process. Just chant every day, come in the morning and just sit in the class, even if you're having, you hear Bhagavatam. You've tried all logic and all, you just follow. After 1.5 years, it doesn't work for you, I'll bless you to go. Leave. Okay. He said, fine. Because he wanted to have faith, but then he said, honestly, like, I'm not. And you know what? Today, even after 10 years, he's very happily there. He's a senior devotee now. Amazing, isn't it? Because that process of chanting works. He was asking me a few years later, what about that 1.5 years? Yeah, bro. I didn't do anything. You stayed on, right? He's smiling. He said, Prabhu, how did this happen? I said, just because you chanted. And it's not just chanting, you followed some devotee. Of course, I am not much of a devotee, but still I am in the parampara. So, this is such a simple process. And then Krishna reciprocates. Amazing, isn't it? Thank you.
Hare Krishna, the process, of course, which you mentioned. Like
yeah, what's your good name?
Sujay.
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 S-U-J-Y. So the thing is that the change of heart that takes place during chanting or following this process is immense. And the reduction of lust, anger, greed in a person's consciousness. If you go to the material world, there's just passionate people or people in ignorance, and you come here with the devotees, the same devotees. Even they have passion in ignorance, but it's towards, like, they have like passion towards Krishna. And the reduction in lust, anger, greed in devotees is one of the things that. And of course, when you see a Western person doing, of course, we are Indians. We've seen through the system, but you're seeing someone else take up and go in such a high platform. It's not easy to leave that process and come here, and that's only possible with change of heart and
we have people filling the gaps.
Exactly, like Phil Prabhu. Like Philip Prabhu comes from a Christian background, and he's taken up. He's way more austere. He's way more sincere, and when you see these Western devotees do a lot of, you're like, okay, wow.
Yeah,
when I can do something, when I can.
Yeah, we feel ashamed.
You feel.
Come on, say it.
So I feel ashamed. Right? I could do much more better, and
Same here, bro. I also feel the same actually. Like, I'm coming from Bay Area. I see like Vaisheshika Prabhu. You know Vaisheshika Prabhu? Our disciple. I was there for some festivities like Vyas Puja and all. I just bow down with my heart, at the lotus feet of these personalities they have created Vrindavan out of that place which is Vrindavan of tech people. Right? Amazing actually, the kind of inspiration, personal example, and the consistency of taking responsibility for decades. In fact, they've inspired the next generation. So many kids, they're just, you should really see it, like they're just chanting up. His brother is there, Madhav Govind Prabhu. So, yeah, what you're saying, I totally resonate with that. Yeah. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. My name is Saurabh. So for the faith for me, like it was gradual. So the start was like, obviously material kicks. So after
Yeah.
material kicks, like